So today we're doing vectors. Now a lot of people has an idea of what vectors are, uh, but most of us do not have a clear idea on it. So what are vectors? Vectors, according to physics and mathematics, it means that when a certain direction have a starting and an ending point. So as you can see, it has to be of a straight line. So suppose there is this line that is starting from here, and then there's line is ending there. So what we do is we extend these two lines. Now, this cannot only be just a straight line, and we cannot call it a vector. Why? Because there isn't any direction that I'm showing. So when there is no direction, there are no vectors. This arrow indicates the direction of the line, so we can easily tell that this is the finishing, this is the ending, starting, my bad, and this is the direction the line is going in. And by notation, we call it vector A. Now we have to keep one thing in mind, that is this arrow that you are looking at right here can never ever be like this. Now you may ask me, what about when the arrow is here? So suppose there is a line with the direction here, what do? We call this a negative vector A. We call this a negative A. Why? Because it's going in the counterclockwise direction. So when it is going to the counterclockwise direction, it is becoming negative. Mind you, this sign will never ever be counterclockwise as this sign, because that is just completely wrong. That is about it. Now we are also going to see how we can do a few maths. So suppose I'm saying that vector A is 0 and 3. Now you may be asking, where do I put the 0 and where do I put the 3? So in order to solve this, you might be wondering, where to start? So let's do this box, and mind you, this is not a very perfect diagram, but let's just start this. So this is our graph paper. Now you might be asking about x-axis and y-axis. Let me tell you, do not use the x-axis and y-axis concept in understanding vector. What you do is, suppose this is the start of it, so we count it as 0. There's no x-axis or y-axis. Now you may be asking, how do we start it? You see, in the here, in vector A, 0 is on top and 3 is at the bottom. So when 0 is at the top and 3 is at the bottom, you always have to start with 0. Okay? So from 0, we go up 3 times. 1, 2, 3. This is our 0, this is our 3. Now you might be asking that why does the 3 dots go up and not down? Well, it could have gone down if it was 0 and minus 3. So when it was 0 minus 3, we could go dot, this is 0 from here, then 1, 2, 3. Now, there are a lot of problems regarding this, which can be half of vector A, and vector A is 2 and 3. So half of vector A will be half of 2 and 3. Now see the mistake that I have done? This is completely a mistake. When you are writing about vectors, do not make this mistake. The examiner who will be checking your paper will give it a complete 0, and this is completely wrong. Let's move on to the new page. The correct way of doing it is always to start off just like this. Okay? We will be very precise about using only brackets. Okay? So whenever you're doing this, you do half of 2 brackets. Do not extend a line here, which will be completely wrong. So again, go with half into 3. All brackets closed. When we have done our multiplication, it comes as 1 3 by 2. This will be the answer. This will only be the acceptable answer for any exams. Now you might be asking if we can take this into a mixed fraction. No, that is all again going to be simply wrong. Let me tell you why. So if it was not 1, and if there was 1 here, if it was not 1, if it was like 2 or 3, and the examiner will easily think that you have to multiply this number with this one, which will be completely incorrect, which also makes it incorrect. So whenever we are learning about what are the correct ways of doing anything in our life, we also should know what are the mistakes that can possibly made. So we also need to learn the mistakes to learn not to make them. Mistakes should be learned to not make them. Okay, so right after this, we will be going on to a sum, which is okay. I'm starting here. Vector A is equal to 3 minus 7. Now I have to calculate a bunch of these, which are 3a, half of a, of course, do not forget to write the vector signs, minus 2 vector a, minus vector a, till this much. Now, let us solve one by one each. So here, I will be starting off with 3 vector a, which is 3 times of 3 minus 7. Now, individually, let us multiply it. Everything will be in brackets so we do not make the silliest of mistakes. Then it will be 9 and minus 21. Our first answer is done. The second one is half of vector A. Now, as I have told you in the discussion right before this sum, it will be the same as this. Half times 3 minus 7. So what we do is we multiply individually and keep them in second brackets. course, it will be 3 by 2 minus 7. Let me write it here clearly. 3 by 2 minus 7 by 2. If you want to write this in pen, 3 by 2 minus 7 by 2. This is the correct answer. Now, the next sum is minus 2 vector A. Now, minus 2 vector A means it's minus 2 times 3 minus 7, which means again individually multiply it. Now we have to be very cautious about using this one because there cannot be any two signs consecutively together. So we have to put it in brackets, second bracket, we close it by third brackets. Remind you, we have to use a lot of brackets to um, undo the mistakes that can be done in an exam paper. Okay, so we've got minus 6 because 2 times 3 is minus 6 and there's a minus sign. Then 2 sevens are 21. This is our answer. Then again we have minus a vector, which means minus 1. Let me tell you, when there won't be anything right at the right of a sign, you have to take it as minus 1 or 1 because that is what it is known for. So it is minus 1 into 3 minus 7. You can either skip it, but if you think you're not good at it, do not skip it. Multiply it individually. So it's gonna be minus 3, 7. 3, 3 minus 7. Okay everyone, so this is all for today. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it helped. And please make sure to go through it before if you have forgotten or missed any steps, and let me know in the comments. Thank you.